I have a very important question. And after this, we are wrapping up Kategate. Unless there's new information after this, we're going to be done with it all. And my question is, how do you work for one of the most famous families in the world and create such a media mishap? From PR to private secretaries to the comms office, the gray men, step after step, that is what I do not understand. And I think, and this is again outside looking in my opinion, I don't think Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace are cooperating with each other. The bridge to Terabithia looks like it's collapsing. We have the announcement of the king, and this is where they went wrong. I've said this before. Charles gave enough. He gave enough to satisfy everybody. Obviously, there are questions and concerns, like what type of cancer? What stage are you at? How aggressive is your treatment going to be? But for the most part, everybody, in my opinion, I feel was pretty content with the information provided by him or by his office. Then on the opposite side, after Charles releases his statement, we have the statement about the Princess of Wales. And it's so vague, leaves room for so many questions, which subsequently created a media frenzy resulting in thousands, hundreds, of conspiracy theories. And while I agree, a lot of these conspiracy theories were batshit, there were a lot of valid questions being asked. And I do feel like genuinely people were concerned about where is the Princess of Wales? What's going on? Nonetheless, people let their imagination run awry, and this is just what happened. So going back to January and then to present, right before the announcement by the Princess of Wales regarding her health, there was Photoshopgate and just lots of errors on the part of Kensington Palace, which aided in the creation of all of this. And because of their mistakes, there are still people, albeit willfully, who still don't even believe that she has cancer, or not has cancer, but there was a diagnosis of cancer found in samples pooled. And that all of this is for attention and sympathy. You have somebody going through treatment, and the last thing that they should be worried about is having to come and correct the mistakes of the people that are paid to do the job. Stuff like this happens when you are trying to run what's supposed to be modern, but using the ideals and values and media training for when the Queen was the Princess Elizabeth on back. And I would say this about anybody who had to go through something just like this. And instead of taking responsibility, the firm, the implication of, well, Meghan does this too, it's like, stop. You fucked up. Own up to it. And that also goes for the British news and media outlets. Stories revolving around Meghan's pregnancy photos when she was pregnant with Lily. Or other photos in general started to pop up. Well, Meghan photoshops. This isn't about Meghan. And this video isn't about Meghan. It's a mere example. But it's a centuries-old idea that the firm never messes up. And because they handled the king in such a way that he could just sit back and do what needed to be done for himself and not even worry, that would have been the perfect example to do with the Princess of Wales. It leads me to believe that neither Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace spoke before both statements were released. Maybe it was thought that, Buckingham Palace isn't going to give that much information, so we're not going to give that much information. And it also could have been the request of the Princess of Wales to be like, hey, I don't want all this out. But at the same time, had they received the King's press release prior to releasing the Princess of Wales, I feel like maybe this could have been different. I don't know. I'm not saying they didn't receive it prior to, but you can tell choices were made. Everybody in Kensington Palace needs to be fired. Every single person that had a hand in this debacle needs to go. They clearly do not know how to do their job. And with that, the book is closed on Kate Middleton and her health.